Now, this is the best moment of this course. We are compiling all the information we have reviewed so far to create what I call the technical plan. As I mentioned earlier, this is a subdivision of your business plan that describes all the operation aspects of your project. To be more efficient, I recommend you to download the free technical plan summaries template. That is, again, a template I shaped after helping dozens of startups create and market their project from a technical perspective. Just before we move on, make sure you've gone through all the exercises and that you've prepared what technology are relevant for your project and your roadmap with cost and resources on each version. Ready? So please pause the video and be sure to get the free slideshow template so you can fill in it along the way. Let's do it. So just like for any pitch deck, and even if our focus is on the technical part, we still need to make people understand where we come from. We still need to provide some context. So after the title slide, I recommend you to create the project positioning slide, where you will place your one-sentence pitch and the key elements that makes your project innovative from a general point of view. I invite you to use some trendy words to make it stand out. The next part I recommend you to do is to add the "How does it work" slide. Please try to use schema as much as you can. Images always speaks better than words. Next, let's describe your user experience. Describing this awesome experience for each and every category of users. By making simple drawings, describe what they would expect or what they should expect from each steps with your application or service. Then, based on this user experience, give a general overview of the benefits your users will get from their own perspective by using your application or your solution. For each of them, we describe their desires, contributions, and above all, received value. What we need to check is that the received value is more important than their contribution, and that is answers to their desires. You know, everything we do on technical fronts needs to be based on a well-defined marketing strategy. Then, based on this user experience, give a general overview of the benefits your users will get from their own perspective, and especially by using your solution. For each of them, we describe their desires, contributions, and received value. What we need to check is that the received value is more important than their contribution, and that is answers to their desires. You know, everything we do on the technical front needs to be based on a well-defined marketing strategy, and that's all what it is about on that slide. At this point, your readers will be able to understand where you come from regarding your project positioning. So let's get now to how actually we are going to build it. So let's put your roadmap focus on each stage by describing the focus for each stage, envisioning what your website baseline will be on each stage. Describe your targeted customers for each stage again, and please be as narrow and as specific as possible on the very first stages. Don't try to create a product for everyone, that doesn't work. Then let's describe a bit more each version by adding your feature list to each one, keeping in mind your targeted customer. Okay, are you following me so far? This is a pretty condensed part because we are summarizing everything. So feel free to pause or replay each part of this video to make sure that everything is crystal clear for you. Okay, you might hear me talking about agile methodology. Following its best practices, now I recommend you to develop a bit more what you are going to do in your next version. Always keep in mind your targeted customers. And don't forget the website baseline for this version. Okay, as I said, use this very special video at your own rhythm. Pause, move forward, backward as much as you need to be sure that everything is clear. Now, let's take a step back and let's share the company's vision from a customer's perspective. The goal here is to describe what your company will be from a customer's perspective in several years. what people will think of your brand and how it will help them in general. Or we can put it in another way. Why your service matters, why your service makes sense to them. Next, let's describe your secret sauce. Again, the best way to describe it is to create a schema that highlights your added value. And then, for each version, describe how technology will support your solution. Okay, still here, still alive, we are almost done. Now the final touch, the figures. Let's add the roadmap costs. You might have designed this dashboard on the global development cost videos. Of course, I recommend you to use the project quotation worksheet as these figures are automatically compiled and you just need to copy and paste them. And finally, the project planning. It's a huge topic and unfortunately we cannot describe in detail the project planning part in this course. But it's important to provide a clear vision of what the timeline you can commit is. Basically, I would invite you to take the amount of day required to build your project or service and add 60% of that to the global time. Project management and delay all depend on the operational team. So before you establish any deadline, I would invite you to validate with your providers that your planning is in fact doable. In general, consider this 60% more than the pre-calculated required time will be okay. Okay, this is it. Ready to do it? Download the technical plan slideshow template and let's rock. Fill in all the content and please redesign the template a bit in order to fit to your brand. And don't forget to use as many pictures as possible.